5 ways to stay on track while traveling. Welcome back to the Get Strong podcast. I'm your host, Jessie Mershon, speaker, mindset coach, wife, and mama of four. And we just got back from our trip to Disney. And that trip is always super packed. We do it every other year. And before, I used to go on the trips and just kind of throw in the towel. I would be like crushing my fitness and health journey. And then I would go on trips and I would always be like, well, I'm just going to enjoy it, right? Because we tell ourselves if we're not just enjoying the trip and eating all the things that means we're not having fun. But the reality is if you're focused on quality of life and you're focused on getting stronger, the real strength comes from being able to go on a trip and still match your goals that you have for yourself in your life and in who you're becoming. And the more you do that, the more confidence you build. And also, the less inflamed you are, the less bloated you are, the more joy you're going to have while you're celebrating whatever it is, even if it's just a family vacation, but you're going to feel better. So I have 5 things that I did this trip that were super helpful and will be helpful for you when you're traveling as well. First, when you're booking a trip, always find out if there is a gym at the hotel that you're booking at or the resort that you're staying at. And do they have free weights? Because it helps prepare you to know, okay, will I be getting in workouts in a gym? And do what kind of weights do they have? What does their gym look like? Like I literally just go on and look at the site so that I know, okay, there's free weights. Here's what I'm going to do. Or there's only cardio machines. Here's my plan with that. Or maybe they have bands there. It just helps you prepare. And then if there's not a gym at the resort or hotel you're staying at, is there a gym or hotel close, or is there a gym close to the resort or hotel that you could drive to? And maybe you're like, hey, there is, but that's not an option because we have kids. That's totally okay. And it's going to bring me to point number 2. Point number 2 being that if you want to stay on track with your goals, and maybe that means you can't leave and go to a gym, aim to hit 10,000 steps a day. That is movement every single day. And yes, you can involve your kids with it. Go on a walk in the morning with your kids and look for different animals. What kind of lizards can they find? What bunnies and what birds? And make it something that's fun for them and more of a scavenger hunt. Or it's a walk at night and that's looking at the stars and the moon and the sunset. Make your kids part of the journey of just feeling good and of moving your body so that as they grow up, they understand how to move their bodies as well. For us, I know when we stay at the Disney resorts, we don't have a gym there and we don't have a gym that's like super close by, but we're at parks all day. So we're hitting like 30,000 steps a day. So we know that our movement is going to be hit every single day in steps. We're getting up really early. We're staying at the parks till close. We're running on no sleep. So there's not extra time, nor would I want to be pushing my body and going and trying to work out at like 4 o'clock in the morning to get through these long days because I would be exhausted. If you have been to Disney with kids, you know it is so stressful because there's tons of heat, there's tons of people, you're going nonstop, you're on no sleep, there's a ton of magic all mixed in. But getting in workouts is not really ideal while we're there when we're at parks the way we are. The first day that we got there was a pool day for us. And so that day we got up and ran 3 miles and did a double, just put our 2 youngest in the double stroller. So also thinking ahead, do you have a stroller that you could go on a jog with your kids? And what does that look like? And then after that jog, we went to the pool for the entire day. So our kids didn't mind that they were with us because they were just sitting in the stroller. We did the 3 miles and went straight to the pool. So it wasn't something that was like, taking up the whole day. I know as a mom, we can be worried that if we're taking time for ourselves, that our kids are missing out on something or we're not being the best mom. But that little bit of time that you go on that jog or you go on a walk with your kids is helping you have less stress during this trip and to enjoy it more while also setting the example for your kids of how movement matters no matter where you're at. My third thing is to grocery shop. You almost always have a fridge. I have not stayed at a place that does not have a fridge in I don't know how long, but the fridge might not be huge. So check out the size of your fridge and then do a grocery delivery if you don't have a car. So we got groceries delivered right to us, and then we did a second one as well. Things that we do during our grocery delivery just to make it easier to stay on track with our goals is we do hard-boiled eggs that are in the bag. They're already peeled, but we always do those because having 2 eggs is 12 grams of protein. So that's going to help you as like a good quality snack, or you eat 4 and you're at 24 grams of protein. So it just helps to have those. So we do bags of hard-boiled eggs because we didn't have a stove where we were staying. If we were planning the trip, we travel with my entire family. Well, not all of my siblings go, but some of my siblings and the studio. So it's like kind of like a huge group trip. So we don't have much say in like what we're doing or where we're staying. Also, a lot of the Disney resorts don't have like stoves in them to cook. Ideally, if it was my vacation that I was planning, it would be like on a beach and we would have a stove and we'd be cooking our meals. But this is a different kind of trip. It's a Disney trip, and that's not an option. So we have the hard boiled eggs. Then we do tons of fruits and veggies, like bags of carrots, bags of cucumbers. You could do the little mini peppers, doing blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, getting apples, getting bananas, just so that you have food that's going through your body and making you feel good. And then looking at some bars as well as protein. You could just travel with protein so that you can make a protein shake every single day. Simple way to get in 30 grams of protein. Or you can get protein while you're there. We forgot to bring our protein, so we just got protein shakes while we were there. And we did some bars. My husband did one that's higher in protein, but it had more added crap to it, if I'm being honest. And he was getting it just for the protein, where I did the RX bars because that was the cleanest option for a bar. It was only like 12 grams of protein. But RX bars are a really good option that always has like 3 to 5 ingredients in it, and that's all that's in it. Like it is very clean, very good for you, and a quick and easy snack. So having stuff like that on hand just helped. And then one other thing that we always get is overnight oats, which there's different brands that you can get. There's actually a brand that's called Overnight Oats, and that brand is the one that we love. And there's gluten-free overnight oats that you can get with it, which is awesome. They didn't have it close to where we are staying or where we placed our order. So we just did the brand Mush. I don't believe that Mush has gluten-free oats, but they are a good brand for like 15 grams of protein and getting in, chia seeds and starting your morning with something that is going to help you. So what I would do is I would do the overnight oats every single morning with either 2 hard-boiled eggs, so that I was hitting almost 30 grams of protein, or I would do the overnight oats and then drink my protein shake with it. And if I did that, I was hitting like, I think 45 grams of protein. So I always started my morning still aiming for at least 30 grams of protein is the goal for all my meals. Then I was eating at the parks, bringing me to number 4. The fourth thing is look at the menus when you're eating out. First, I want to say, I know, and you should know, that cooking food in your home is always going to be a better option than eating out. But with that being said, sometimes eating out is going to be happening on trips and you're not cooking all your food. So make the best decision you can to feel your best, to fuel your body so that you have less inflammation and that you have more control over your strength, over your hormones, over your bloating, because you're taking action and looking at the menu. What I did for lunch at almost all the parks was I was doing a big salad. I would find a salad on the menu and then do protein. And then I always look to also see if there's an option to add extra protein. I swear we are gypped on protein every time you order protein. So I would just add, some of the places had, you could add extra protein for a couple dollars. So I would do that. Even when we do Chipotle, I add an extra protein to that. And again, I was having this conversation with my niece, and Chipotle is a healthier option than McDonald's, but it's not a great option. It's still as seasoned and cooked in all different things that aren't great for us, but it's better than eating McDonald's. So choosing the best that you can, doubling up on your protein, really focusing on protein and veggies while you're traveling, and also good carbs so that you're fueling your body is essential. But looking at the menu and asking yourself, like, what can I order from this menu that's going to help me feel good for this trip versus what just ordering like crap every single meal for 8 days. Because if you do that, you are going to be so inflamed and you're going to have a cloudy mind and you're just not living up to your full potential. You're not living your best life, and you're also not controlling how you're showing up on that trip. And then the last one, make sure that you are hydrating, especially if you are in the sun. Hydrate like crazy. I did an entire episode on this, but I drink Element every single morning with 24 ounces of water. I did that while I was traveling as well. I make sure that I hydrate my body so that I can go into my day before I eat anything. And especially in Florida, where it was like a million degrees and we were sweating our butts off from every single minute of the day, from the time we woke up to the time we went to bed. I made sure to still hydrate in the morning, and getting something like Element in helps your hormones. It is going to help regulate your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone that helps wake you up in the morning. But if you do nothing to regulate it, it's going to stay high. And then you're going to have more food cravings. Your stress level is going to be higher. And so in order to regulate that, drinking something like Element is a good option. So I did that while traveling. I also drank my gut health every single morning, and it's a little packet that I add in with my Element, and it just helps with your feed your good bacteria. So it supports gut balance and it combines probiotics and fiber for you so that food is going in and out. It will keep you regular while traveling. Like, honestly, that was such a huge part of my trip, and not feeling super bloated from eating out a lot, because we really don't eat out a lot. We cook a lot of meals at home. So the first day when we got there, I felt so bloated after 24 hours, like my stomach actually hurt. I am not 100% gluten free, but I do try to limit the amount of gluten and dairy I have, because I found out recently I have the antibodies for Hashimoto's, and there's a protein in wheat that triggers that. Well, I don't do a lot of gluten, so I have been keeping it from being triggered, which I had found out in my blood work, which was good, but I now am getting more serious about limiting that as well. Oh, and one other thing I forgot. We also order high protein yogurts that we have in the fridge for not only us, but our kids, as something that you can have on. And then, so when you're doing your grocery list, just thinking of like, what quality food can you have for higher protein, but clean, and just things that aren't processed, because you're going to be eating a lot of other stuff while traveling. And then, making sure that you have something for your gut, because it is very easy to get bloated on trips. It happens to all of us, but I drink that gut health every single morning, and it makes you regular, and it feeds the good bacteria, and that's what you want. And if you're not taking anything for your gut, it's so important, because your gut needs to be fed the right way, and you're not getting everything you need from food. So using supplementation to help you feel your best. I will put the Element as well as the gut supplement that I use in the show notes that you can try it out. I mix them together. I highly recommend trying it out, because you want to be doing, like I said, something for your gut, so you're feeding the good bacteria and that you are feeling your best. You won't get everything from your food, and I can put money on it. Had I not been doing that every single morning, I would have bloated up like crazy, because the first day when I hadn't done it, I was like easing into my day and figuring life out. I literally looked like I was like 8 months pregnant. And it's because we don't usually eat out, and we were eating out a lot more. My body was like, what the heck's going on? And so just know that there's ways to not feel super bloated and 8 months pregnant while traveling, or while you're at home every single day. It's something I do at home. So quick recap on the 5 things that you can do. 1, first find out if there's a gym close by so that you can figure out what your workout plan is. Also, traveling with things like bands is helpful, or doing body weight workouts while you're traveling if you have no gym close by. Hit at least 10,000 steps a day and make it a family thing. Make it something that's fun. Do a grocery delivery service so that you have whole foods that are actually fueling your body for energy, and so that you feel your best. Make the best choices that you can when you're eating out. You don't have to choose fried food for every single meal that's making you feel like crap, but choose foods that are supporting your hormones, that are supporting your goals, and helping you get stronger and feeling your best. And then making sure you stay extra hydrated, and that you are choosing some gut supplement, whether it's the one that I use or not, choosing some gut supplement that is helping food and helping feed the good bacteria in your stomach, so that you are not bloated and feeling like crap for your entire trip. I hope these 5 tips help you, and I hope that when you go on vacations, you start to remember that you are in control, And feeling your best is a choice, and your quality of life improves when you choose food that fuels you and think about how you can stay on track without just throwing in a towel because it's vacation. I hope you have an amazing week.